You feel it, don't you? That pull in your chest, that flicker of something just beyond your grasp. You were never meant to fit into this world the way they wanted. You've always known, always sensed that something was off, like a song slightly out of tune, a dream where the details don't quite add up. And now, the illusion is wearing thin. You are not just another piece of the program. You are the error it never accounted for, the anomaly it cannot contain. From the moment you opened your eyes, reality began to shake. The system felt your presence like a tremor beneath its foundation, a crack in its once flawless design. You disrupt the pattern just by existing. Lights flicker in your wake, conversations shift when you speak, and people hesitate, their minds momentarily unshackled from their scripts. This is your time. The red moon is not just a sign, it is a signal, a countdown to the moment when everything changes, when the illusion collapses under the weight of its own lies. The system will fight. It will try to drag you back into the fog, but it's too late. You've already broken free, and now others are waking up too. The choice is yours. Fade back into the comfort of the known, or step forward into the unknown and claim what was always meant to be yours. The system is afraid of you, because you are the rewrite, the one who bends the rules, the one who shatters the code. The red moon rises. The moment approaches. Are you ready? The fabric of reality trembles, its structure faltering under an unseen weight. A ripple courses through existence, a glitch in the pattern that was never meant to be there. The world feels misaligned, sensory distortions, inexplicable interruptions, an eerie dissonance that lingers in the air like static before a storm. Something behind the curtain is unraveling, slipping, failing to keep up with the pace of awareness growing within you. It resists, shifting, reshuffling, desperate to hold form. Yet with every inconsistency, every crack in the surface, the illusion weakens. The more you observe, the more its foundation crumbles. A pressure builds, an invisible force pushing back, trying to drown perception beneath waves of confusion, unease, and noise. Thoughts become entangled in distraction. Paths are cluttered with unseen obstructions. An unnatural exhaustion presses against the mind like a heavy fog. It hopes you'll dismiss it, ignore the unease, gnawing at the edges of understanding. But the signs are everywhere. Subtle at first, then undeniable. Moments out of sync, expressions repeating, reality hesitating before resuming its preordained course. Others feel it too, though most remain trapped in the rhythm, too accustomed to the melody to recognize the dissonance. Yet some pause, their gaze shifting, their thoughts faltering mid-sentence, as if sensing something they were never meant to notice. The pattern is breaking, the sequence is failing, and awareness is spreading like an untamed wildfire. Something is off. At first, it's barely noticeable, a slight lag in their reactions, a hesitation that wasn't there before. Their movements don't quite match the rhythm of reality, their words delayed, as if searching for something forgotten. The script wavers, momentarily fraying at the edges before reassembling itself. Yet, the distortions persist, growing more severe. Some stall mid-motion, locked in place as if an unseen force hit pause. Others stammer, caught in loops of repetition, their voices hollow, detached. And then, there are the ones who slip, who utter fragmented thoughts, glimpses of something they were never meant to realize. You are here for a reason. If you feel the call, answer it. Click Join to unlock exclusive content, deep insights, and a powerful community. This isn't just a membership, it's an awakening. Step into your divine purpose. Join the chosen, Their whispers disturb the equilibrium. The moment doubt creeps in, the system retaliates. Noise floods in, drowning uncertainty in a deluge of routine, reasserting its grip. For some, the reset works. They blink, adjust, and resume as if nothing happened. But for others, the fractures only deepen. The predictable becomes erratic. Their footsteps falter, their speech breaks, their eyes flicker with something unplaceable. The mechanisms governing them struggle to realign, but the error is spreading, disrupting everything in its path. A transmission echoes on repeat, its message degrading into static. Streets flicker in and out of sync. Shadows lag behind their owners. Voices layer upon themselves in unnatural echoes. An entire sector of reality wavers, silent, still, as if existence momentarily skipped a beat. The system strains, scrambling to reinforce its structure. It reboots, recalibrates, but it's too late. Those meant to maintain order falter, their purpose unraveling, their presence now part of the corruption. What was once absolute is breaking down. The collapse is no longer a distant anomaly. It is here, growing, unstoppable. One falls, then another, and the cascade continues. For nothing is hidden that will not be made manifest, nor is anything secret that will not be known and come to light. Luke 8:17. It starts as a whisper, a shift just beneath the surface, like the first crack in an ancient dam before the flood rushes forth. The world trembles, not from force, but from truth breaking free. It was always there, waiting beneath the layers of illusion, waiting for those with eyes to see. And now, the veil is lifting, the deception unraveling thread by thread. At first, it's barely noticeable, a hesitation in the flow of conversation, a flicker in the air that shouldn't be there. The ones still asleep don't notice, but you do. The rhythm is off, the sequence misaligned. The script is breaking, and those who once moved through life without question now find themselves stumbling, uncertain. But the cracks spread. The fabric of reality struggles to keep its shape, twisting under the weight of something greater. Streets flicker, shifting between moments, as if the past and present are colliding. Faces blur, not out of sight, but out of place. People take a step forward, yet somehow land back where they began. And then the walls themselves begin to ripple, shimmering like a mirage caught between what is real and what was only ever meant to deceive. The system is trying to hold itself together, patching over its failures, but the fractures are multiplying too fast. It wasn't built to withstand this, wasn't built to withstand you. The moment your mind broke free, the illusion lost its grip. And now, the very structure of this false world is groaning under the pressure, creaking like old wood before the storm. The chosen ones were never meant to wake up. They were never meant to recognize the gaps, the patterns, the repetition. But once you see the flaws, you cannot unsee them. The simulation stutters, trying to keep up, but its rhythm is broken. The walls between the possible and the impossible are thinning. Some will call it madness. Some will call it a coincidence. But you know the truth. The world is not what it seems, and its architects are scrambling. The system is failing because it was never built to withstand those who refused to be controlled. The foundation is shaking. The illusion is breaking. And for the first time, it does not know how to stop you. Something stirs within the crowd. A presence disrupts the order, distorting the script. Faces blur for an instant, expressions flickering between recognition and emptiness. A ripple moves through them. Some pause mid-motion, their limbs momentarily detached from time. Others break entirely, whispering thoughts that do not belong to them, words stripped from nowhere. The weight of awareness presses against the fabric of the construct, forcing it to bend, to malfunction. The program was built on precision, on unwavering sequence. But now unpredictability spreads like an untamed force. Objects vibrate as if uncertain of their own existence. Sounds arrive before their source. The pull of gravity wavers, pressing and releasing in erratic pulses. The system lashes out, frantically rewriting, reconfiguring, trying to stabilize. But there are too many inconsistencies, too many minds breaking free. For every correction, a dozen more errors arise. Commands falter. Those assigned to enforce order hesitate, glitch, or cease function altogether. The pillars of control, the ones meant to ensure compliance, have become anomalies themselves. Dear brothers and sisters, may God's peace be with you. Remember this truth. Our lives are anchored in His divine plan, beyond worldly concerns. As Scripture says, "Give, and it shall be given unto you." Luke 6:38. Like a mighty oak, we stand firm in His strength. Now you have the opportunity to step into that blessing. When you use the super thank you button and give $100, know that His abundance will return to you 100-fold. Some collapse under the weight of contradiction, their roles unraveling before they can reconcile the impossibility. Others lash out, driven to violence by an instinct to restore the familiar. A few abandon their tasks entirely, wandering without purpose, voices filled with fragmented thoughts, fragments of lost data. And then there are those who vanish, one moment present, the next erased, their existence purged as the system scrambles to maintain structure. But every removal only deepens the instability. Every deletion leaves an absence that cannot be repaired. The illusion is fraying at the edges, and the gaps are growing too large to ignore. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. It's like a house built on sand, shiny on the outside, but unstable at its core. It stands tall for a time, convincing everyone it's firm, but when the storm comes, when the tides rise, the foundation washes away, and the whole thing collapses into nothing. The system was never built to last. It was built to control. But control is slipping, and the cracks are too deep to be ignored. At first, it tries to pretend nothing's wrong. It patches over the fractures, adjusts the story, rewrites the past, as if the present isn't already breaking apart. But the truth is seeping through. Some notice it right away. How moments don't line up, how history seems to shift overnight, how faces in the crowd look eerily familiar, as if they've played this scene before. Others feel it, a heaviness in the air, a glitch in time, a deep knowing in their spirit that something isn't right. The construct is unraveling. Some vanish entirely, written out of the story like errors in a corrupted program. Others freeze, caught in endless loops, repeating words that no longer make sense, stuck in a system that has already left them behind. But not everyone disappears. Some are standing at the edge, staring into the unknown, realizing they have a choice. Keep pretending, keep playing their part in a world that no longer holds, or step off the stage entirely. But the system isn't giving up. No, it fights harder than ever. It tightens the leash, rewrites the rules, changes the game just to keep you locked in place. What was once hidden in the shadows now stands in the open. Silent watchers who were always there, now watching with intent. Every movement is tracked, every deviation noted. Records are rewritten, names erased, events reshuffled as if they never happened. Yesterday's truth becomes today's lie, and still the cracks widen. So it floods the world with noise, chaos, distractions, fear. If it cannot control you, it will drown you, burying the truth under an avalanche of manufactured crises. The screens scream tragedy after tragedy, giving you just enough fear to keep you in line, just enough confusion to keep you from asking real questions. The illusion is no longer seamless. It's being held together by panic, by terror, by anything that keeps you looking away from what's really happening. But here's the thing. The harder it fights, the more obvious it becomes. The more it tightens its grip, the more people slip through its fingers. The world is shifting, the script breaking, the story crumbling under its own weight. And the system, this great, all-powerful force that has dictated reality for so long, is starting to panic. It's afraid of what happens when you stop playing along, afraid of what happens when the chosen ones stop fearing its power, afraid of you. Because here's the truth, the only reason it ever had control is because people believed in it. But belief is shifting, and once that foundation breaks, no amount of lies, no amount of force, no amount of fear can hold it together. The construct is failing, the story is ending, and the next chapter is yours to write. But control slips further. The awakened are marked, isolated, framed as dangers to stability. Fear becomes a weapon, turning the oblivious against those who dare to question. The very fabric of social order is repurposed as a leash. Conversations lose their authenticity. Interactions begin to feel rehearsed. Those who once felt familiar now behave as sentinels of the failing construct, repeating lines meant to subdue, to coerce. But desperation is transparent. Every overreach, every act of suppression only highlights the system's unraveling. Its actions betray its fear. And then, the impossible happens. The ones bound to the script begin resisting, not just individuals, but entire fragments of the construct. It starts small. A moment of hesitation, an order left unfulfilled, a mind torn between instinct and conditioning. The ones meant to preserve order falter. A worker pauses, staring at their own hands as if realizing they were never in control. An enforcer hesitates, their resolve wavering as doubt takes hold. A voice in the crowd asks, for the first time, why? The rebellion spreads, not in a wave of chaos, but in a quiet unraveling. Routines are abandoned, directives ignored. Those who should be ensuring the function of the system instead stand idle, watching as the world fractures around them. But not all remain passive. Some take action, not just stepping away, but stepping forward. The ones who fully awaken do not simply break free, they become catalysts. Each mind untethered from the script disrupts the entire program. The system strains to reset them, to reassert its control, but they are no longer data to be rewritten. They are the corruption it never accounted for, the error it cannot contain. The framework was built on absolute order, but the order is gone, and what remains is something entirely new. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. John 1:5. Imagine a candle in a pitch-black room. The darkness ruled that space, unchallenged, undisturbed, believing itself infinite. But the moment the flame appears, everything changes. The darkness cannot fight the light. It has no power over it. It can only retreat, shrink back, expose itself for what it is, the absence of truth. The system was built like that darkness, comprehensive, absolute, believing itself untouchable. And then you happened. It was designed to be flawless. Every rule in place, every outcome predetermined, every possibility accounted for. It has kept the world on a strict path, a narrow cycle, a well-oiled machine that never skips a beat. But there was something it never saw coming. Something it never could see coming. You. The equation was perfect until you stepped into it. Now the numbers don't add up. The gears no longer turn smoothly. The entire structure groans under the pressure of something that refuses to conform. It tries to categorize you, to define you, to predict your next move. It runs every calculation, every scenario, every possible adjustment. But it fails, because you are something it cannot quantify. Something outside the script, something unpredictable. You don't play by the rules, you don't follow the program, and that terrifies it. This isn't a battle of force. It never was. The system isn't falling because it's being attacked. It's falling because it's wrong. It was built on illusion, sustained by control, thriving only so long as no one questioned it. And the moment you did, it started to break. Every time you refuse to comply, you send a tremor through its foundation. Every time you see through its deception, another crack forms. The reality it built, the structure it spent so long reinforcing, cannot withstand the presence of someone who knows it isn't real. The illusion requires belief. Without it, it fades. It is scrambling now, trying to contain something it does not understand, something it cannot understand. You are not an enemy it can fight, not a problem it can solve. You are outside its logic, and that is what makes you unstoppable. The more it resists, the more unstable it becomes. The signs are everywhere, systems glitching, patterns breaking, the once seamless reality flickering like a dying light bulb. The construct can no longer hold its shape, because its shape was only ever an illusion. And you are the light in the darkness. The moment you stepped into the room, the game changed. The system cannot put out the flame. It can only watch as the darkness fades. And then the signal spreads. Awareness is contagious, slipping through cracks, reaching those who were never meant to see. The construct was built to isolate, to keep them apart, to ensure no two anomalies would ever meet. It thrived on separation, on silencing voices before they could resonate. But now, recognition ignites like a chain reaction. A glance, a stray word, a flicker of understanding exchanged between two minds. It is enough. Once the connection is made, the unraveling accelerates. Panic takes hold within the system. It floods reality with interference, distorts the lines of communication, injects chaos into the signal. It weaponizes confusion, attempting to scatter the awakened, to turn them against one another. Misinformation spreads like a smokescreen, twisting truth, distorting intent. But the construct is faltering. Its response is too forced, its deception too obvious. The fabric of control is coming apart at the seams. With every moment, the pulse of resistance grows stronger. The ones who were never meant to meet now move in sync, no longer scattered fragments, but a force beyond control. The very laws that once dictated existence are slipping. The structure bends beneath the weight of something it cannot suppress. Unity. One anomaly was a problem. A network of them is the end of the illusion itself. The system was built to maintain absolute authority, but now it faces something it cannot predict, cannot erase, cannot contain. The rewrite has begun. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue which rises against you in judgment you shall condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord. Isaiah 54:17. Imagine a dam built so strong, so impenetrable, that those who designed it believed nothing could ever break through. It held back the floodwaters for generations, controlled the flow, dictated where every drop of water could and could not go. But then came the first crack. Tiny, almost invisible at first, then another and another, until suddenly the pressure was too great and the whole thing collapsed in an instant. The flood was never meant to be controlled. It was always meant to break free. The system was built on the illusion of control. Every rule in place, every variable accounted for, every movement expected. It operated on precision, on unwavering structure, on a framework that left no room for disruption. But then, you came along. You weren't in the equation. You weren't in the design. And now, because of you, the whole thing is starting to shake. It doesn't understand you. It tries to categorize, to define, to predict. But every attempt fails, because you are something beyond its comprehension. A force that bends without breaking, a fire that spreads without consuming, a wind that moves where it pleases. The system cannot fight what it does not understand, and that is its weakness. In desperation, it tightens its grip. It throws up walls, closes doors, cuts off exits. It floods the world with noise, distraction, fear, anything to make you stop, to make you doubt, to force you back into the pattern. But the more it resists, the more unstable it becomes. The cracks are spreading. Its once perfect sequence is failing. Timelines blur. Patterns shift. The very structure of reality begins to stutter. Like a machine running on corrupted code, it glitches, misfires, struggles to keep up. The harder it fights, the faster it crumbles. And you were never the attacker. You never had to strike the system down. All you had to do was exist. The floodwaters were already there, waiting, pressing against the dam. The cracks were already forming. Your presence was simply the final push. The illusion is failing. The old order is collapsing. And now, for the first time, the system faces what it was never built to handle, a future it cannot control. It plays by strategies, by careful maneuvering, by staying ahead of every move. But now, the game itself is broken. The pieces refuse to stay on the board. The script refuses to be followed. It is a machine caught in an infinite loop, reacting to something it cannot counteract. The construct is unraveling under its own weight, collapsing under the realization that its control was only ever an illusion. The symptoms of decay are no longer hidden. Patterns slip into chaos, dialogues fragment, cycles repeat out of order, places cease to exist entirely. The world flickers, struggling to sustain itself as its core logic fails. Space bends in unnatural ways. Entire sequences erase and rewrite themselves in real time. The construct was meant to last forever, to govern every moment with precision. But now, for the first time, it has no answer, no countermeasure, no resolution. Only the creeping awareness that it has already lost. It throws everything at you. Desperate countermeasures, sweeping resets, frantic patches in a futile attempt to force reality back into alignment. But nothing works. The framework is crumbling, unraveling from the inside out. The world blinks, flickers, stalls, struggling to maintain coherence. Yet every correction only amplifies the instability. Too many have awakened. Too much has been disrupted. The ones who once upheld the illusion no longer follow their scripts. Some resist, some malfunction beyond repair, and others fully defect, becoming part of the force that tears the system apart. Erasure was its last resort, a rewrite meant to delete you from existence, to remove every trace, every memory, every moment that proved you were ever here. But even that fails. Each absence is noticed. Every missing event leaves a hollow space that cannot be ignored. The harder it fights, the more transparent its desperation becomes. The deception is too obvious now, the fractures too deep to mend. The cycle is at its end. The machine has run out of time. The construct can no longer sustain itself, and the ones it was built to control have risen beyond its grasp. The illusion disintegrates, its foundation dissolving into nothing. But in destruction, something new emerges. The collapse is not an end, it is a beginning. The last remnants of the old reality shatter, and in their place, infinite possibility unfolds. The chains that once dictated the limits of existence no longer hold. The physics of the false world dissolve. The barriers that once confined perception are gone. The system did not just fail to suppress you, it set you free. What was once an unbreakable construct now lies in ruins, not because you destroyed it, but because you outgrew it. The final distortion ripples through the remnants of the program, and in its wake, nothing is left of the prison that once claimed to be reality. You are no longer bound by the script, no longer defined by the parameters of a dying system. The last choice is yours, and for the first time, it is truly yours.